When you see these golden arches, what is the first thing you think of? You probably think of greasy French fries, a Big Mac, or maybe a Happy Meal. You think McDonald's is a fast food company. But you are completely wrong. McDonald's doesn't actually care about the burgers they sell you. They are actually one of the most ruthless and powerful real estate companies on earth. To understand this hidden empire, we have to go back to 1940. Two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, opened a small drive-in restaurant in California. At the time, drive-ins were slow. You had to wait 20 minutes for a cold burger. The brothers were obsessed with efficiency. They wanted to invent a system to serve food in 30 seconds. They completely redesigned their kitchen. They fired their waitresses and created a factory assembly line for food. It was called the Speedy Service System. And it changed the world forever. Their little restaurant became a massive success. The lines were endless. But the McDonald brothers were comfortable. They didn't want the stress of expanding across the country. Enter Ray Kroc. A struggling, 52-year-old salesman selling milkshake machines. Ray visited their restaurant and was absolutely blown away by the speed and efficiency. He saw what the brothers didn't. He saw an empire that could stretch from coast to coast. Ray begged the brothers to let him franchise their restaurant. They finally agreed. Ray became the franchise agent. He traveled the country, finding people to open new McDonald's locations. He was obsessed with quality control. Every single burger had to taste exactly the same, whether in New York or Texas. The restaurants were booming. Customers loved it. But there was a massive problem behind the scenes. Ray Kroc was completely broke. His contract with the brothers was terrible. He only kept a tiny fraction of a penny for every burger sold. He couldn't pay his own bills, let alone fund the massive expansion of the company. He went to the bank for a loan, but they laughed him out of the room. A burger joint wasn't a real business. Ray was desperate. His dream of a fast food empire was collapsing before it even started. But then, he met a financial genius named Harry Sonneborn. Harry looked at Ray's books and told him a harsh truth: you aren't in the burger business. Harry realized that taking a tiny percentage of 15-cent burgers would never make them rich. He told Ray, you are in the real estate business. Here was the brilliant new strategy. Instead of just selling the McDonald's name to a franchisee, Ray's new company would buy the physical land where the restaurant was going to be built. Then, they would force the franchisee to rent that exact piece of land from McDonald's. The franchisee would have to pay either a flat monthly rent, or a percentage of their total sales, whichever was higher. This changed absolutely everything. Suddenly, McDonald's had guaranteed, massive monthly income. They didn't care if the price of meat went up. They didn't care about the cost of potatoes. Because the rent was always due. And the real estate always belonged to them. With this massive cash flow, Ray went to the banks again. This time, he wasn't a crazy guy selling burgers. He was a commercial landlord with guaranteed leases. The banks threw money at him. The expansion exploded. But there was one final obstacle. The original McDonald brothers. The brothers still owned the name, and they hated how fast Ray was moving. They constantly blocked his decisions. So Ray decided to buy them out completely. He offered them $2.7 million. In 1961, that was a massive fortune. The brothers took the money and gave up the rights to their own name. But in a final act of spite, they refused to sell Ray their original, very first restaurant. Ray was furious. So he built a brand new, giant McDonald's right across the street from them. He legally forced the brothers to remove their own name from their own restaurant. He drove them out of business entirely. Ray Kroc was ruthless. Today, McDonald's owns over 40,000 locations worldwide. They own some of the most expensive and premium real estate on the planet. From Times Square in New York to the Champs-Élysées in Paris. The total value of the physical land and buildings they own is over $30 billion. They collect billions in rent every single year, completely passively. It is a financial masterpiece hidden in plain sight. So the next time you buy a Big Mac, remember the truth. You aren't giving your money to a chef who cooked a burger. You are paying the rent for the most successful real estate landlord in human history. If you want more business secrets like this, you have to subscribe to the channel right now. Next time, we'll reveal the epic war between Coca-Cola and Pepsi that almost destroyed them both. See you there.